Wow, you gonna fly with that too?
Tried.
You did? Awesome. All right, another gaming podcast. Everyone, how's everyone doing at the Nintendo Experience Toronto?
I'm excited.
Yeah?
I'm excited coming out of this. We just got to see a whole bunch of great games touch the Switch.
We
For
did.
the very first time.
Of course you wanted to touch the Switch.
We had to touch
Get
the
my
Switch.
little,
Touch
get my
the
little
Switch.
mitts on the Switch too. Yeah.
A little greasy mitts.
Yeah.
So, okay,
I
well,
was sweaty.
how'd
so
you
they
think
were
of it?
sweaty.
I'm really impressed. I think technically the Switch 2 looks to be like a really impressive machine.
Okay.
It feels really great in the hands when you're playing, in handheld mode. When you got it docked and you're seeing it on a nice television, I'm seeing the improvements. I'm seeing enough here that I'm kind of justifying. Yeah, it might be worth an upgrade.
Yeah.
Once June comes around, there's a whole bunch of great games to play.
Yeah.
Mario Kart definitely a standout for me. But yeah, I'm happy.
I agree. I feel like my experience with the Switch 2, like getting my sweaty palms, because like I was sweating so much. I don't know who told me to wear a leather jacket today, but it was not the
That was
time.
your choice.
I mean,
That was
a choice.
That's on you. That's
that was
on you.
me. That was
yeah,
on me. But
yeah,
like when you hold it, because I actually didn't. So when you go through the experience, there's like different levels. At first, you get that experience to like hold the Switch 2.
Yes.
Then you go into Mario Kart World, and then you go into Donkey Kong
Bonanza.
Bonanza.
and then you have kind of like an open play area. I actually started in the second area, so I didn't get my hands on it. So when I was first holding it when playing Mario Kart, I was like, oh, there's a lot of weight to it. But it was because they had a bracket there, so no one could take the Switch away.
Yeah.
When I went back and Riley's here. When I went back and I held the Switch on its own, it has a good weight to it. Like it feels like this is gonna. Do not drop your Switch 2s at home.
I feel like
It
the Switch feels
like-
lighter for
It
some
is
reason.
a lot
A
lighter.
little lighter, sure.
Really? You think it's lighter?
I know what it
I
is.
find it a
I
little
know
lighter.
it's better in
I
the
think-
game.
I think
in both hands you can it's lightweight,
yeah.
but it doesn't
In the
have that
one.
same sort of strength that like the Switch 1 does, where you can just kind of hold it in one hand,
Well,
put
okay,
something
but it
away
does.
or whatever.
So,
right?
so I did when I had the Switch 2. I was playing Brave, and I decided to test the Joy-Cons magnets, and I just held the Switch on the
Yep.
magnets
Oh,
itself.
for that, yes.
And
it hangs on.
It hangs on, so it is durable. But when I'm talking about the weight, like it feels weighty, where it's like it could. If you accidentally dropped it, do not drop your Switch 2. But if you accidentally dropped it,
Especially with your sweaty
I
hands.
feel like it could handle itself, like it
Probably
does.
wanted to drop
If you
Yeah.
really want to drop it, I feel like it could handle itself. Where it's like, sometimes with the Switch, the original Switch, you're just like, oh my gosh, if it drops, this is so lightweight, I feel like it's gonna
It's
break.
gonna break in
Yeah.
half.
Yes.
Especially that kickstand, because it's a lot more sturdier on this end.
Yeah.
And I was actually really surprised with the console itself. We'll probably talk about it when we talk about games, but playing Metroid Prime 4 with the mouse option,
Oh, it's
the
so
mouse
good.
is
Oh my
so
It's so good.
That was the
sensitive.
most
Honestly,
impressive thing
it's-
that I experienced for the day
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
the mouse control for Metroid. And as well, just in general, using the mouse control is really intuitive. It felt really good. It didn't feel like finicky. It didn't feel like I didn't have any issues with it. No notes.
And
honestly.
how
It worked
fast you can just flip,
really
like,
well.
like, oh, let me just flip it up if you
And we
want
were
to.
worried because we talked about this, or maybe you guys talked about this when I was around, but I talked about it
We
by
do it a
myself.
lot. We probably did.
To myself.
We do talk a lot, yeah.
Wondering how the mouse controllers would be without like a mat. And I did test it out in
Oh,
Dragon
yes.
Drive
Yeah.
on my
Yeah.
lap,
Yeah.
and it holds up.
Yeah.
It holds up. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
That was definitely like my surprise of the day, I think, was the mouse
Yeah.
control for sure.
Yeah.
Mario Party was where we were playing.
Oh,
it
this
with,
is not your
with-
mic. This is your mic.
Is this my mic?
This is your mic.
Oh man!
Wow.
I've been talking. about
You
that for a
get
while,
your
too.
own mic.
We're gonna figure this out.
There you go.
That's
Mario
amazing.
Party we were playing without a mouse pad, and that ended up working really well. And honestly, it was like a really good amount of fun. A lot of the different games that came up for the mouse controls, I thought were super
Stop
fun.
trying to eat your mics. What's happening?
I'm just curious about it.
Give me that. Give it. It's for the win.
But yeah, Metroid was great.
Yeah.
I will say I loved Mario Kart. I thought it was a ton of fun.
He didn't do well, and now he's bitter.
No.
What place did you
Aaron,
get?
what place did you get into
So
knockout?
we're not going to talk about that. We're not like first or something like that.
Okay.
No, but okay.
First out?
What I'll say. This, all right.
Wow.
All right. But okay, I will say it was great. I had a good amount of fun with it. I'm not quite seeing the justification for it being a higher priced game.
Where's she going?
If I'm being,
Where are you
if I'm
talking?
being
That's his
totally-
camera. Leave his camera alone.
If I'm being totally,
Bam!
if I'm being 100% honest, the best thing I played today was Donkey Kong Bonanza.
See, I find
I
that so interesting.
loved Donkey Kong.
Just
Because
say it's
Donkey
weird.
Kong-
It's weird.
It's-
Just tell him it's
it's-
weird.
So I want to say it's
Yeah.
a technically very impressive game.
Yes.
Like just the sheer amount of like
Very
stuff
impressive
that's happening on the screen.
Yeah.
Super impressive. It didn't take me until we got to the first island where I was like, oh, I see the game. Because that whole tutorial
but
stage,
it's a
I was
tutorial.
like, but
the
I was so
tutorial
boring.
was like, I feel like the tutorial was.
It's a
definitely-
tutorial!
Yes, but it's a tutorial that's very.
Am I losing my mind?
Am I taking crazy pills?
Yeah, maybe we'll make
No,
sense then.
tutorial.
But the thing
I
is,
just-
like,
I
with
just
the
didn't see the
tutorials,
game there.
You know what it is, Steve? In the tutorial, we didn't come across an enemy till
No.
near the end
Yes.
of the
Yeah.
tutorial, and it was like 2 enemies. So like when I was going through the tutorial, I was like, okay, yeah, you could smash in every.
It's gonna be a
direction.
tutorial counter now.
It was another direction for the tutorial, but it was just like something where I could see a lot of younger kids
How dare they?
enjoying that aspect.
Yeah.
You're right. When the game opened up to
Opens
the
up.
other
The
islands,
island, the
you,
exploration.
then you have other mechanics that I think makes it, if you're more of a veteran player,
A
then
real gamer over
a
here.
Gamer.
a real gamer over there. There's a little bit more.
What does your
strategy,
card
which
say?
makes it
Game-
more
Real
of a
gamers who
dynamic
judge
game.
tutorials.
But it's just more. It's more gameplay
Guys,
mechanics that
Top 5 game
allows-
tutorials. Let's go.
Donkey Kong.
Star Fox, number 1, Star Fox. Star Fox, best tutorial. Anyways, but yeah, no, I think it's just, it was just didn't open up quick enough for me
I
to
agree.
Okay.
really
I
catch
agree.
on.
I
But
agree
you're
with that.
the whole.
I loved
how many,
it.
Wait, how many?
Oh, wow.
I got
Checks
the
the
backpack.
card. He got the backpack.
Hello?
We got 'em all.
Got the
We got 'em all.
backpack.
Okay.
But no, the
but
whole
yes.
thing with
This is
you
a great
saying
backpack.
it is
Yeah.
a great backpack.
Oh, I didn't even.
But the
Oh,
whole
you guys didn't even look inside.
Wait,
of the
is there stuff
live
inside?
Yeah.
unboxed.
Live
Not
unboxing.
just stuff.
No.
Oh wait, there's stuff.
There's
Besides our own stuff?
Skin,
Oh!
and
That's insane.
What else?
I love
Nice
how
little,
none of us
uh,
actually
Oh,
opened
Ah.
it.
I
Pencil
didn't even
case?
put my
Nice.
Joy-Cons in there.
Is there a switch in there?
Yes, actually. Good
Yeah,
call.
yeah.
My
But
pencils.
like,
Yeah.
they even have like a little layer for the laptop.
That's what I was saying. The backpack's good.
It's a
nice
good
backpack.
I can't wait to
Good
show up
backpack.
to work
Okay,
with my
but
Switch
let's
I
2
can't wait to
backpack.
talk about tutorials with
Wait,
my
wait,
Switch
let's
2
You
go.
can write in a notebook in there.
I want to bring it back to a game.
yeah,
I
I
want
wanna-
to bring it back to a game because I do think that one of the standouts here,
Okay.
and purely because it was a group environment, everyone was like super
Oh yeah,
excited.
yeah.
The knockout mode for Mario Kart
Is-
is something that I'm
Oh, it's
looking
awesome.
forward to.
It's awesome.
I think it's my new,
Yeah,
my
in
favorite
live
mode.
events, like when
100%.
like whether it's like a tournament based or
You're
just
having
like
a party
group-
or
yeah.
something, yeah.
Like
Yep.
just hearing people like across the room get mad
Cheering
when
on,
they're
yeah.
when they get hit by a shell or the lightning
He was
or
the
get knocked
loudest.
out.
Four
Like,
Aaron
there's
was the
nothing like it.
loudest. He was just like, this game's
Yeah.
I want to point out. I want to point out
I
that
never
we
said
are.
that. Oh, where's the tutorial?
I want to point out that we are standing here.
You're among
with
some
the
champions.
Number one.
Congratulations.
First
knockout-
in Canada.
First in Canada.
Thank
I
you very
mean, hey,
much.
top
won the
3
very
too.
first.
top 3.
Top
Who came in
3.
second
Who
then?
did you play as?
I don't
Did
know.
you?
Daisy.
Daisy.
How's that?
Oh my god.
Oh,
I
that
didn't-
was you.
I didn't
Yeah,
try.
Okay, because I kept
strategy.
seeing Daisy up in first. Yeah.
Yeah, Daisy was in first.
Yeah,
I was
no.
Baby Mario.
Sorry, I didn't see you.
in the
I didn't see you back
swimwear,
there. Sorry.
And I just got that because it looked cute, and I was not thinking of strategy, or else I would have went with Yoshi and came
Yeah.
in first.
Knockout is
What did
great.
you end up getting?
Huh?
Third.
Third.
Third
place.
I was third. But no,
I got
okay.
8.
Let's
and
talk
I'm
about Mario.
bitter.
Well, hold on.
bitter.
So
Well,
Let's
okay,
talk about Mario
explain
Kart
to me
World,
why
because
do you
he's so
guys
bitter.
why do you guys justify though that it's a higher price?
I'm
I-
not.
Well, no, we're
That's the
not.
thing.
No.
Wait,
I
wait.
just really
But
enjoy
I want to ask about that because I think when you're looking at all the experiences that we've had so far, and you got a taste of how much is in Mario Kart World, and there's still more.
Yeah.
To me, the amount that's in that game
Yeah.
justifies, I'm not saying the price that it's at right now, but justifies it being maybe more value than some other experiences.
To me, the price justification is going to come with a roadmap for future content.
I
Whether or
hope
not
so.
they
Okay,
do
so
that,
that's the
gonna be
only
big
thing
one.
that I'll say is fair is if they're gonna have like a good amount of post-launch
Yeah.
stuff.
Yes.
And I mean, if you look at the last Mario Kart for the Switch
did. They
1,
had so much
they went
content.
crazy.
Yeah, they
they
had
went
so much
crazy.
content.
So if they go as crazy as that, like I guess it's fair. But even then, I'd be looking at it as like, all right, if you get this game in a year, then it's like, all right, the extra price is worth it for that point. Day one though, I don't know if it's worth being a higher
When I
priced
looked at
game.
Maybe
other
skins are free or
experiences, I think
something,
it
you know?
has more more content, like in a game.
It
than I
has a
would
lot to
expect.
offer.
Yeah,
It
it
There
does.
is one thing I did during the first play, not the knockout stage. I just went off the map, and I'm like, what happens? And there's a bunch of like things you could interact.
Oh, cool,
with
cool.
Oh, okay.
outside of the race.
Oh
So
my
I think that's
gosh,
a part of it.
Yoshi's restaurant, the little dishes. I'm gonna start creating them.
I will say I do really like as well that a lot of like the tracks aren't just straight up like loops,
Yeah.
right?
No,
like
yeah.
a lot of
Oh,
it
and
really
different
is,
laps, different
yeah.
lap amounts,
Exactly,
Like,
right?
you could have 8 laps.
And you're going from like a point A to point
Yeah.
B, so it really does feel like a marathon
Yeah,
that you're
but not
running.
only
in the
that,
game.
even some
It's like
remixes
Forza
of
Horizon,
certain
so
maps
a
were
little
in
bit,
there
yes.
Well, yeah,
as
they
well.
have Peach's Stadium.
Yeah.
Is what we played, or what you and I played. And with that, there was like they had the weather, the dynamic weather.
Yep.
And on our last lap, it started to sunset,
Yeah.
and it was so
That's
beautiful
awesome.
and pretty.
Yeah.
But like with the 20 like players, you feel
24
that
players,
there's
yeah.
20
It's
Oh, it's
players
insane.
on it.
Yeah.
It's hectic, and they have like more in-track events. Like at one point during knockout, there was this car that was throwing out bullet bills.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
I was like,
yeah,
I was like, what
And the
is
football guy was throwing
happening?
footballs.
the football guy.
Yeah,
got me.
Hammer Bro was
Yeah.
this thing. kept
No,
shot-
there was one stage where I saw like sandworms
Yeah.
crossing,
Yeah.
and,
There's a lot-
and like you said,
yeah.
the bullet bills being shot at me. I was
You
like,
have to
damn.
pay attention a lot. And then the
Yeah,
whole
yeah,
thing
yeah.
that I didn't really, because I watched the Treehouse, but I didn't really pay attention to, is there's so much bullet bills. They just shoot bullet bills at you. They come out of
And
nowhere.
then you become a bullet bill.
Yeah. But it's
Depending
like
on
this-
what
And they didn't give me a tutorial, so I don't know.
So like in Mario Kart 8
I
Deluxe,
didn't know what the big cannon on the back of the truck was gonna do. I started shooting bullet bills.
but in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, you could kind of get by without getting the 10 coins.
Yeah.
I find in this,
It's really important.
you need 20 coins.
We need
Because
20
the limit's
coins.
20.
It's
Yeah,
20,
yeah,
yeah.
it's increased. So it's like you really have to get all the coins you can because your cart feels so much slower than your opponent.
Well, that we were going 100cc as
Yeah.
well.
Well,
wanna
no,
see-
no.
that right
But
away.
compared to everyone else, if
Yeah.
you don't have
Oh,
any
no, yeah,
coins,
yeah.
you're so much
Yeah.
slower. So it's like I like the fact that there's all these different factors that you now
Yeah.
have to take into Mario Kart. So even if you're used to coming in first place,
Plus the
like
real
me,
grinding as
in
well.
Mario Kart,
Yeah,
that was
real
fun.
grinding as well. Yeah, that was
real
good.
grinding, you have
Yeah,
to like
get a little
really own
extra
your
boost.
skill, and
Yeah.
that's another thing. It's not just regular Mario Kart. Like it feels like a completely different experience.
Yes.
Another thing that I wanted to point out, it was the last game that I played for the day, Cyberpunk.
I didn't get to
Looks
play that.
good.
Cyberpunk looks
good.
amazing.
Yeah, I'm really
It's even,
impressed.
I feel like it's competing with even some computers out there. It looks really good.
Yeah, so okay, was it running at 30?
It's
Yeah.
running. So
running at 30.
There's 30, but there's a 40 mode as well.
Okay, so there you
Yeah.
go. I mean, so you're going to be able to get as much as you possibly can, really, out of a Switch 2.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, these things are like comparable to something like a PS4, Xbox One.
Now, I think that's funny you should say that because I went to Hogwarts Legacy.
Okay.
and
Yeah.
that game.
Oh, it's rough.
Well, it was rough.
Really?
There was like
Really?
screen
Yeah,
tearing
I
and
Yeah.
super
That one
disappointed.
had a
Like,
lot
the
of.
textures were all off,
yeah.
and, like it looked like a day one PS4.
Yeah.
So I think with
Interesting.
Hogwarts,
Wait, Hogwarts, you're online?